life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one.
I went to Baker in 1st of July of 1957. I was the second principal. Boyd Larson was there before me, and from 54 to 57. And I was there from 57 until 66. And we started out as a 7th and 8th grade junior high. That's what it had been for 3 years, and when I took over, they decided during the summer that it was also going to be a 9th grade. So students who left the 8th grade in June of 57 thought they were going to Troy High as 9th graders, and they ended up as 9th graders at Baker. And needless to say, some were not very happy. During my first year there, since the building was named after Stuart K. Baker, the superintendent of schools, we were able to get a big colored enlargement and had it framed and hung it on the wall, and had Stuart over one day to take the drape off his picture, and he was quite proud of that.
Mr. Robert Nyquist was a wonderful man. Everyone loved him and loved working for him. He taught at Log Cabin here in Troy, and then went on to Troy High School, where he was a math teacher and the head football coach. After serving as the assistant principal to Bill Jacka, he became Baker Middle School's 4th principal. In 1958 to 1960, he taught in England and Germany with his wife Miriam, who was also a teacher here at Baker.
Farms were very active here in Troy in 57.
Working farms?
Working farms. They slowly got out of it because the land started becoming so valuable. And then I-75 cut through the city, and even more of the farms.
To the big city of Troy. I think it was called Big Beaver then.
The actual city was named?
And our post office was Birmingham. We had to send our letters and go to Birmingham if we had to drop off a letter and at the mailbox. We had to go to Birmingham.
So you really noticed the changes for
Oh,
Rochester Road.
It was a 2-lane highway. We used to sit on a Friday night and watch all the traffic go up and down going up north. You know, there was 2 lanes. On Friday night it was all going north, and on Sunday night it was all coming south. That was exciting in Troy, you know, to see all those cars.
It's been said that the games here at Baker, the sports games, were the only game in town.
They had, though, a deep history in football. They'd never lost a game in the previous 2 years, and I think probably not been scored on.
There wasn't any particularly strong rivalry between any of the 4 middle schools. Our strong opponents were Clausen.
So at the football games, did the whole town community turn out for those?
Well, yeah, we had good turnouts for them.
It was so crowded out there that you could hardly pay attention to the game. There were so many people that came.
Were there any girls' teams
No.
at that time?
No girls'
No
teams at all.
girls' teams.
The only thing girls could do was try out for cheerleading, and that was the only thing available to them. No, I take that back. We had track. The girls ran some track.
You shake my nerves and you rattle my brain. Too much love drives a man insane. You broke my will, oh what a thrill. Good in this wreck is just quitting balls of fire. I let that love all I thought it was funny. You came along and you moved me, honey.
Boys were not allowed to wear jeans. They had to wear chinos or slacks of some kind. Girls' skirts had to come down to their knees, and so many girls would leave home dressed properly, and before they got to school they would roll the top of their skirt up so that their skirt was short.
The 60s were tough years too. The grunge, that dirt was in. There were dress codes, constantly fighting over dress codes. The boys had to wear a belt. The girls' skirts had to be down to their knees. They could wear slacks, but there was very seldom ever wore jeans. The hair was always a fight. Whether it's at home or whether it's at school, hair has always been a fight.
We had a hot lunch program.
Now, didn't they use plastic trays and real silverware? Or, you know,
Yeah,
dinnerware?
we sure did.
whatever.
And all that had to be washed, and there was quite a bit of silverware went in the wastebaskets with the garbage.
I always had my lunch with the kids, so I sat at a different table each day and just sat down with them.
Do you know anything about what the government foods were? What that was about?
Prunes.
Oh, prunes.
Kids love prunes. They even tried to bake prune cookies and prune cakes, and it still didn't work out. This was years ago when they were trying to get rid of commodities that they had, and they would just offer the school cases of prunes and raspberry and strawberry and peach.
Okay.
So they've kind of changed their ways too. A main type A and maybe another choice. And no extra fresh fruits or fresh vegetables, you know, it was all canned. Bake up the cakes and cut it in squares and give it to the kids, or brownies. And then once in a while they'd have cookies.
We were able to keep them after school for a detention period, and those that were really out of line, that was the time when you could still spank. And on occasion I did massage a rear end with a paddle.
I don't say that it ended anything or made anybody any better, but it was something that was used. Yeah.
The use of the paddle was most often for vulgarity, gross vulgarity,
Okay.
or for physical violence on another student.
What was maybe one of the more difficult things that you had to deal with as principal?
Smoking.
Ah,
We watched, from my office, we'd use binoculars and look out at the power pole way out in front of school and see who was smoking, and they'd throw their cigarettes down and come into school, and then we'd meet them at the front door, and I would know which pocket their cigarettes were in, so I'd reach in and take them. So we combated that way, and also we had smoking in the johns. And to solve that problem, we took the exterior doors off the lavatory rooms, and that way if there was any smoking going on, it would drift out into the hall and we could take care of it.
We've been together since way back when.
Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Going to the chapel and we're gonna get married. Gee, I really love you and we're gonna get
Serious back when Mr. Jacka was a teacher here, and he said to me, "But Phyllis, you have to take math." And I said, "But Mr. Jacka, I'll never use math." Not knowing that someday I'd be counting money and ordering and keeping tabs on all types of math.
I came back from the Army in 1959, and I was with the staff gathering at the old Big Beaver High School. And the man standing next to me was Mr. Peyton Goodwin, who was the athletic director. And he said, "See that guy coming there? That's the new football coach. I hired him. You're going to like him." And that was George Koo, and that was my first introduction to him. And he was far beyond that of what we would like, you know. Self-sacrificing, a real energetic and character type person who also was the student's teacher, but he also was the staff's teacher. He felt students' needs, and he could see their future, I think, through his eyes. And in her last year, which was my last year, 93, we decided we would retire at the same time. The staff, to honor Madeline and myself, put that sign up in the courtyard as a gesture for Madeline and myself. When we retired, they put up that sign out there. I think they brought in 700 balloons and blew them up during the school day. When the students went out that day, they gave every one of them a balloon and told them to go out in that front yard. They let them all go at once. That was the great flyaway, so to speak. It was the grand finale and a fitting thing for Mrs. Thomas.
I think the role of the principal has changed as the role of the teacher has. The role of the teacher used to be one who provided information for most kids and did the best they could to reach most kids. And now it is, our goal is to reach every student, no matter what their abilities or their handicaps might happen to be. Spray painted hair last year. The pie in the face stuff where my secretary took a whole bucket of whipping cream and dumped it on my head. Be put in jail, right? Yeah, for muscular dystrophy.
The kids.
The kids.
The kids.
Kids.
The kids of that age were just appreciative. We had an awful lot of fun together.
I think getting to know so many of the kids and remembering them and feeling good when they remember me. They stop me at the store now and, "Hi, Mr. Jacka, you don't remember me, but I went to Baker, or I went to Larson, or that type of thing." But that's the nicest part of it. really is. When you get to be 75 years old and have some student come up and say, hey, I remember you.
I, as a principal, actually thought lunch was the nicest part of the day, even though it was a noisy, anything could happen, everybody's got to be on their toes, supervision time. I liked it the best of all. It was the one time that the students and the staff could mix with noise and freedom, and it just worked wonders.
If the focus comes back, what's best for kids? That kind of takes care of it all right there. The staff in this building really look at this as a calling in their lives, and they treat it that way. And so, as a result, geez, where else would you want to be? I just can't imagine wanting to be anywhere else.
This afternoon, like,
I'm almost done.